कहे अवतार ना मरे ना जाए son. The definition of that, I'm sure some of you or all of you noticed that Nanaji's legacy and we always talk about mission is that the concept of touching each other's feet. You're actually it's a physical action, but the sentiment behind that is that you're actually acknowledging the soul that exists in each and every one of us and the equality that exists in each and every one of us. And so, hence, that was the essence. Like, as I can't even, I can't even put it into words. Like, what everyone has said, all his children, his amazing wife, my grandmother, has said that was just literally the definition of his life, all those amazing qualities. The name Nand Love, actually, if you look at it, you look into history, it's from Lord Krishna, because he was the beloved, of Nanda, which was his definition of joy and happiness. And what better name that absolutely defined him? Joy and happiness, and everyone talks about his laughter, but everyone, those eyes, how we say the eyes are mirrors to the soul. He absolutely, just that was so fitting for him that those eyes could captivate a whole room, and they laid the foundation to one of the largest congregations outside of India, Toronto, and his work he's done here in Phoenix and just all over the world. And you've heard that he always gave selflessly, and I wrote some words down. I don't know if I can repeat them, but just say what I feel from the heart. And I think today, just the greatest tribute, you can never replace humans that are larger than life. You can only do and just embody those characteristics, those amazing traits, and just that's as was just briefly said, that I think he just will always live on forever because of the fact that if we embody those amazing characteristics and traits that he had, then he'll forever live with us. And as in the mission they say that Atma, which is the soul, once the body perishes, because it's just dirt, we are one with the earth again. But the soul lives on forever with the Paramatma, which is God. So let's just, like I said, let's just embody those amazing characteristics and traits that he had, and let's make sure that he lives on forever, because he is living forever, because the soul has joined the super soul. So Atma and Paramatma जुड़े थे सच्चे पातशाह कृपा करो कि तुसी हर वेले ਇਹ ਆਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਣ ਤੇ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨ। I think me and my older brother replaced Mark and Harry at that station wagon. I remember the station wagon. I don't know if it was always the same one or if we just kept buying the same one again. So it's difficult to put our sentiments into words in remembering the incredible life of our beloved Nanaji. You'll hear Nanaji from us because it's an affectionate way to refer to your grandfather in our language. His passing leaves a void in our hearts, but his spirit and legacy will forever remain with us. More than just a leader of the family, he was a spiritual mentor, a guiding light in our lives, and the lives of many in the Sant Nirvana mission. Today we glorify entrepreneurs when they start up companies. We glorify men and women that achieve in the materialistic realm. But if you look at this man in 3 different countries, in a culture that he didn't understand when he got here, in languages that he didn't speak, he constantly built these huge organizations, and it's a testament to who he was as an individual. He grew the Satmar Garden mission, a movement from humble beginnings in India to the far reaches of the globe. He was an inaugural member of the congregation in Toronto, Calgary, and later Phoenix. So 3 different cities, 2 different countries. His wisdom, kindness, and unwavering faith shaped not only the family, but also everyone who had the privilege of knowing him. He taught us the importance of love, compassion, and the strength of the human spirit. As a child, I felt so fortunate because he seemed to have the limitless wisdom, like Mark was saying. Truly a giant amongst men. He tried to teach me to I was never very good at it. He tried to teach me the vaja, which is like an Indian piano, and I was even worse at that. So I never learned much from him when it came to all the stuff that he was so skilled and good at. But so many warm summer nights in Toronto, during our vacation, our summer holiday, Mom would send us to Toronto. We spent a lot of time with him, and I remember just sitting at his feet and listening to his stories and absorbing his teachings. He had a way of turning just the simplest moments, just the day-to-day life experiences into profound lessons, reminding us to always seek the good in others and to live our lives with integrity and purpose. His words were not just lessons, they were gifts that he generously shared with all of us. Some of his most profound teachings were absent of words. Just watching him as a man, like almost you were saying, his eyes, his intensity, like you could learn so much just by being in the same group with him. He didn't need to speak to articulate a certain message. It was just watching him live is something that was so profound, and we're so fortunate and blessed to have him in our lives. His legacy is one of deep faith and spirituality. I think that resonates with everything, with what everyone is going to be saying today. He lived his life as a testament to his beliefs, showing us the power of prayer, the beauty of selfless service, and the peace that comes from a life well lived. His unwavering devotion was a beacon of hope and comfort to all of us, and many of the congregation that are here that I see today. His prayers and blessings were a source of strength for all of us. I looked at my son this week, and I was thinking back that when Nanaji passed, that his journey to Canada years ago is a testament to his courage and vision. At a time when immigrating across the world is far more daunting than it is today, I see this room, his kids, his grandkids, his great-grandkids as well. And we owe a debt of gratitude to him because we are here enjoying a better life because one man took a step and decided he was to have the courage to go across the world. We would not be here, I would not be who I am today without this one man. He sowed that seed and we are the results of it. We should cherish that gift he's given to us. We should cherish it deeply. In celebrating his life, we also celebrate the countless memories he created with us, from family gatherings to moments of reflection. His presence alone just brought so much joy to us. His laughter, like you said, is something that I'll always remember. It will be something that resonates in my mind when I think of him. As we bid him farewell, I pray that we pay tribute to his memory by embodying the values he instilled in us. Let us strive to live with that grace, that same humility and love that exemplified every day of his life. He's not with us in body, but his spirit will guide us and inspire us and he will always watch over us. I look at him and I look at how he was a leader, and I was talking in the car this morning with Masi as well, that that leadership is never replaced by one person. There's no way that you can replace leaders like him. I think that it's on all of us to try to have little reflections of him and try to stay collective and stay united and stay close to one another, because he was such an important man in so many lives, and I think all of us need to carry on that legacy by trying to be a little bit more like him. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed and Vinny, for your kind words. My sister Jenny has 3 sons, Ahmed and Vinny, and also Farah, and we'll hear from the youngest son, Farah, right now.
We heard about legacy, and what a rich legacy that my grandfather has. You can feel the love in this room. You can feel the love from his kids, his grandkids, the saints that have joined us from the Sandarikari mission. He lived for the Sandarikari mission. What is the mission? What is the message? The message he lived for was that the same that exists within me is what exists within you. That we are all connected. We are one big global family. That is the life that our Nanaji lived. A life dedicated, as we heard from the ones that came before me, the family members that came before me, dedicated to service for this mission. There's a few lines that I'd like to share. Mana Maru, Maru Sansara. And what that means is that the saint does not die. He does not perish. Because the soul lives on forever. The soul lives with God. My grandfather achieved, in his words, something called Jivan Mukti, which means salvation while living. From the age of 15, he's dedicated his time serving. He spent 77 years in heaven. His soul did, because it was connected to what he felt was the Almighty. I remember him telling us stories, and we heard it from our grandmother as well today, of how he used to attend satsangats, congregations twice a day. She shared how when they were newly married, which my mom reiterated as well, he would get her up at 4 a.m. to say, let's make our way to the sangat. Such was his persistence and dedication. And I have a few funny stories to share on that. And I remember as a child traveling to come see him. And my brother mentioned about the Vaja, the harmonium. And I remember the first time he was sitting there teaching me how to play the harmonium. And I remember thinking in my mind that Grandpa's struggling a bit. And I remember coming many years later and hearing him in Sangat. And he was playing the harmonium perfectly. He was playing to every tune. He was playing to every song that was sang. Such was his persistence. I remember being a 13-year-old boy, well past the nap phase in my life, but Nanaji was persistent that I needed that nap. I needed to rest in the middle of the day, because otherwise I'd be cranky. But yet, he still put me to bed at 8 o'clock. Such was his persistence. I remember, being with them for some time, Nani Mananaji, and he thought, okay, this 13-year-old boy, he must be a little bored. So let me take him to a movie. So what educational movie can I take my 13-year-old grandson to? And I remember at the time, Titanic was playing. And my grandfather thought that Titanic was an educational movie. Shocked by some of the scenes in the movie, but he was very persistent that there was some sort of educational story within that movie. He served since Baba Dar Singh Ji, who was, after Baba Butta Singh Ji, the early leader of the Sandarikari mission. He served since that time till his last moments, as we heard. He had a presence about him, a respect that his aura commanded. Us grandkids, I remember Sumitra especially, used to joke around that he's like the Godfather. When he comes in the room, he's like the Godfather. He's got that presence. And as he would explain, that is the presence that a saint carries. That's the presence that someone who's connected to God carries. A life so well lived. A life to be celebrated, as my Uncle Harry said. a life of dedication, a life of discipline, a life of leadership, a life of humility, and as my brother mentioned as well, leadership. The best leaders, the leaders that we remember always lead by example. And that was the life of our Nanaji. He led by example, truly. And again, most of all, the life of service. And as my brother mentioned as well, us kids, us grandkids, us great grandkids, I look at my children, we are reaping the fruits of his service, of my grandmother's service. So today, as we are with them, I'd like to say thank you, Nanaji, for your service, for your dedication, and all that you taught us.